is Koiro with another installment in my Christmas calendar series, and this time it will be almost like a second chance to screw things up, because this time I will be featuring another good old machine, and this time it's this one. And this might look horrible similar to the original Compaq Portable, but this is actually a Compaq Portable Plus. And the Plus edition is almost the same machine as the other one we have looked at, but let's take a quick peek on this. And this particular computer is delivered by the Norwegian dealer Computerland. That actually was kind of a big issue back in the day, and they actually state here a delivered date on this. And even though it's very hard to see what's actually written here, because this has pumped up, it's a nice feature that I have this label. And this is the top of the computer, and that means that we on this side have the power supply, and this is not a good sign. Let's see what's inside here. They have given us a surprise of some screws. That's not a good news at all. It means that someone has been inside here. And you all probably know what I think about entering computers that others has been inside before. They do have the power lead. The power supply is about the same as in the other. The sticker is a bit different, but it's also manufactured in USA, and it's a 220 volt power supply. And except from the stickers and some of the other information being slightly off, it's about the same as the other. And on this side you will have the expansion cards, and here you can see that this machine has been in a more rough state. You actually have a card here that's loose, you have the video card, and you have one more card that's loose, and that does not bother well for our testing of this system. But that means that we do have to take this slightly apart and see what's inside this beast. But before we do that, I will show you that the carrying handle on this is in a semi-rough state. It has been some rust on it, so it's loosened from this grip, but actually the leather looks almost okay. And you can see from the sticker here that it's the Compaq Plus. And it's the same with this. Unlock here, take out the keyboard, and this keyboard, you can see it's all yellowed. It has the original Norwegian keys, and it does have a cracky feeling to it. It means that these keys, it's almost like you hear this squeaking sound when you push down the keys, and that might not bode well for this actually working. The sticker on top of this also says Compaq Plus, and this sticker says Compaq Plus. And the difference is that you can see there's a hard drive here and just one 5¼ inch station. This has the knob for adjusting the CRT, it's okay. But I will try to take off the lid of this and see what state it really is inside. There has been someone inside here before, that's for sure, because this locking mechanism here has a lot of screw marks. And I will move the camera to give you an overhead shot of this as I examine it further. As you can see, they actually put in all of this foam, and this is really static stuff. I hate to see this close by all electronics, because I do know that whoever put this in here has rubbed this against all the ships and stuff. And I can actually see some rust on the floppy drive. I can see some rust on the hard drive. This is a plug that comes out of the power supply. And I can see what parts we have here. This is the hard drive controller card, and it's an original Compaq card, and it states that it's 1983, and the date codes on this also say 1983, 1982, 1982, so it's a mix between 1982 and 1983 ships on this. And this is the floppy controller card. It looks to be in okay condition. There are some corrosion here and some rust on this metallic part, but otherwise it looks to be okay. And this card here is the video card. And yeah, it does have some more corrosion around the edges here, but it also has some burned components here. There is one exploded tantalum here, and you can see this resistor here has gotten a brunt out of this. But this burnt out tantalum is not the worst thing. The worst thing is that there actually seems like there has been some heat on some of the resistors over here. And this burnt out tantalum is just to clip it off. It's probably not necessary for the function of the computer, but the best will be to replace them. And when I say not important, it is to avoid noise and to give extra reservoir. And this is an external memory card. It does have a battery, and this is a nice feature, no leaky nickel cadmium battery. And this is a combined serial and parallel card. I don't think that this is original, because in the normal Compaqs, maybe they had this card. They probably did. I've probably read somewhere that the Compaq Plus also had a serial card. But this card is actually made by AST, and it's AST Research 1985. So this card is supplied afterwards. And AST started out as a supplier of extra card and memory and stuff before they moved into computers. And you can see some stickers here that's been, you can see they dissolve here. And you can actually see some green corrosion on the fingers of this board. So we definitely need some cleaning. And the main board itself, it actually does not look so bad. It's a bit difficult to get a good shot inside here, but this machine has been upgraded with extra memory in these sockets, and you also have extra memory here. And it's upgraded with normal 64K sockets, so each of these banks is 64K. So this is 256K on the main board, and you have 128 more here for 384 kilobytes of memory. I don't see any more exploded tantalums in here, and probably we can try to turn on the power supply to see if it works, but I'm not sure if this machine turns on without some cards inside. But that is something we actually just can test, just to see if the power supply is working on this computer. And you also have this slot here that goes into one board or another, but I do think it's supposed to go into this display card, because this socket fits here. But that's also something I have to look up So can we take some cards from the other computer and test in this? Yes, of course we can. And we can also change the other stuff around to see if anything works, but I think the first line of business will be to test the power supply to see if that actually works. That is something we can do without much work from our side. We just have to hide behind the barricades in case something burns. And I can just remove these cards. I will put them on some anti-static foam. I do have this black stuff laying around that's meant to handle electronics. And I will just put them so and put them aside. And run for the covers. I am trying to turn this on. This video is about the Compaq Portable Plus version of this computer. And Compaq was originally founded with the sole purpose of making an upmarket clone of the IBM PC. And it's said that Compaq, the name, comes from the first letter of compatibility and quality. And the company was a huge success from the start and went on to become the youngest company ever to enter the Fortune 500 list. And I do think they also was the fastest company to reach 1 billion in revenue. And this is from the original sales brochure, and they do have some rather bold statements in this brochure, but from their sales figures it probably worked. And we have highlighted some of the points here, and they stated that their dual graphics solution is much better than IBM's, because on an IBM you have to choose either a CGA or a MDA monitor on graphics card, but the CGA graphics on the Compaq handles both graphics modes. All their advertising is based on we do the same, only better than IBM. And in most cases they were right. But due to Compaq's steep increase in sales, they also defined the compatible market. Because if you had a program, it was not enough to be IBM compatible, you also had to be Compaq compatible. Yeah, we won't go into much detail as we covered most of this in the video about the original Compaq Portable. But this machine also has a 8088 on 4.77 MHz and 128 KB RAM as factory standard. And they are upgradable to 640, although I think the motherboard only takes up to 256 or something. This had a slightly newer version of DOS, the 2.02, and one 360 KB floppy drive. The other was replaced by a 10 MB hard drive. And that means there only is 2 available XT ESA expansion slot, as the last is covered with the hard drive controller. And this was launched about 6 months later than the original version, and it was in November 1983 that this was launched. And this was a move from Compaq to sell hard drive versions, as they saw that their dealers was doing this upgrade for the customer. And even though this was the golden area of service manuals, in some cases it's not so golden at all. And of course, Compaq, that got their business from reverse engineering and looking into IBM's schematics, was not the one to publish their own schematics available for the competition. And the maintenance and service guide is very true and very in-depth, but there is no schematics whatsoever in this guide, and there are some parts of schematics out on the web, but I have not found some complete schematics for any part of this computer or the expansion cards that's contained within. It does actually start. Oh, but that's not a nice smell. This is the smell of burnt capacitors. So I turned it off at once, and even though it's not magic smoke yet out of this, there will be really fast. So I have to take this completely apart to see what's wrong inside. Yeah, that really was a horrible smell, so even though we didn't see any smoke, the stench in here is quite brutal. But then we have one working Compaq against our 4 failed IBMs, and also one failed Compaq. So the world is a bit on our side again, but this machine I will park, and I will find a period where I have time to take care of this, because this need to be recapped, and I need to address all the issues in the power supply first before we tackle anything else. Oh, that smell. So thanks for watching. Hope this could be interesting, even though it was not a working machine. We do have something more to work on here, and as you will see, as long as I have a better than 50% rate of working on these very old computers, I'm satisfied. So thanks for watching. Please hit like and subscribe, make a comment if you like, and hope to see you again in the next installment in this series.